Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Compelling Conversations podcast. Today, I'm joined by my lovely aunt, Urooj. Urooj Pippo, thank you so much for being here. Where are you joining us from?
Venice, Italy. Just got
Venice,
here.
Italy. I'm so
Yes.
excited. This is my second international guest. Thank you so much. All right. So to begin, you really love traveling.
I do.
What does traveling do for you?
What does traveling do? I think it just energizes you. You meet different people. As I am with a group of about 16 people, so from different backgrounds. So we met a couple who were, I think one is from Ukraine, meaning they're from US, but the background is Ukrainian. Of course, someone from Dallas. Then we have people from California, and interestingly, we have one from Washington State. So he is Sikh, and his wife is Japanese. Interesting. Like, wow, okay, I know, right? So it was a shocker for me. Of course, I'm like, oh, you're Japanese and you're, turban guy, Sikh, and they're 70-year-old. He's like 70 and she's like about 67, 68-year-old, and they've been married for 15 years. And
That's really cool.
yeah, and then we have other couple. I think we have a Malaysian and a Chinese couple. Interestingly, they've been married for 20 plus years, and I think they have 2 or 3 kids, adult kids now. So, you meet different people with different backgrounds, and you learn more about, their own food as well as their culture. And I think it's been so much fun. And I think that's the fun part about traveling. And of course, sightseeing is so much fun. I enjoy that a lot. You get to see a lot of history. Now, we started our trip, so Eastern Europe, right? So we started our trip from Croatia, capital of Croatia is Zagreb. So it was very nice. I mean, Zagreb, and it's the capital of Croatia. This is where our trip actually started. We stayed 3 days in Croatia. 3 days in Zagreb. And as I said, it was a capital. So we got to see the city and historic. Then we left Croatia because, before I start with Croatia was previously known as Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia was a communist country. And I'm telling you because I've just learned all this history just recently. And interesting is that Yugoslavia wasn't communist. It wasn't communism. What was it? Socialist. Sorry, socialist. Yeah, they call it socialist. I'm so sorry, not communism. Socialist. And so they actually got into wars in 1990s or something like that. Everything broke. The Yugoslavia was broken into 5 different countries. So we've been traveling. It's not new. Old Yugoslavia, but the new thing is there's 5 states, meaning 5 countries.
So of all these countries that you've been traveling in, which one has been your favorite so far? Or do you like Venice the most?
No, I think it has to be Croatia. I would say Slovenia would be something I really did enjoy. Slovenia was more greenery. Slovenia. So the 5 countries called Balkans, right? This Eastern Europe is called Balkans. So the great part is that they're all kind of like literally 3 hours, 4 hours from each other. So Croatia is divided into Croatia, Montenegro, Slovenia, Bosnia, and is it Kosovo? What's the other one? Kosovo. So the only one that we missed was Kosovo. So, Serbia, right? Serbia is another one. So they were all actually one state, which was, of course, called Yugoslavia. If you look into the old map, the new map is different. There's no more Yugoslavia. So everyone kind of got into, I guess they got their own little piece of land. And some are like Orthodox Catholic, there are Protestant, and then of course there's Muslim population. So they actually divided by language, mix of languages, mix of culture. Religion was a big part in this part of the town because you will find a lot of halal restaurants around here. It's easy. Of course, in Slovenia, you just have to look up because there are, for example, we were in Slovenia and I wanted to eat some Bosnian or halal food and I just kind of typed up and it just showed up. So it's very interesting history. I think Eastern Europe is just very historical and amazingly mountainous, and then we actually went by the Adriatic Sea. So Adriatic Sea is just like a Mediterranean Sea. So you'll have houses built onto the sea. It's just gorgeous. So it's definitely a place to visit. So I would definitely say it's called, this whole eastern part of Europe is called Balkans. So and anyway, so we got
That's
to,
really cool.
it's been interesting.
Have you,
Bosnia.
yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry, I was just gonna ask, have you felt like unraveled? Have you felt like you've unwound, relaxed on this trip?
Very, very relaxed. I think the best part of the trip that I find very interesting was how this part of the Europe, Eastern Europe, was ruled by different empires like Venetian, Hungarian, then of course Ottoman Empire, and Romans and all that. So you actually get to see that in the buildings. So for example, when we were in Bosnia, the hotel that we were staying at, the name of the hotel was Hotel Europe. Interesting. So this is so interesting because when our guide came the next day, because it was very interesting, like this is where the Hotel Europe is. If you go to the right side, every building looked like Ottoman,
Ottoman?
I guess Ottoman Empire, and at that time, the buildings, the mosque, and blah blah blah. And if you go to the left side, those all Venetian buildings.
Oh wow!
Interestingly, just like little in the same road, just
That's
one on the
really
right
cool.
and one on the left. So if you want to go to Turkish market or whatever, like Ottoman, it was just like that. You go to left side is all Venetian and all that Hungarian buildings, and the churches on the left side, on the right side, it was all the mosque. So very unique city. And what was the city in Bosnia that we went to? Sarajevo.
Sarajevo, nice.
Sarajevo. And it was just amazing because you have a mixture of Christians and Muslims living in the same, like literally right is the Ottoman and left is the Venetian. You see a church right there, and then you see right across the street, you see a mosque. And it was very historical. And then, of course, all the masquerade that happened in Bosnia, we got to see that, and it was so sad.
Oh yeah, that's the anniversary was recently, huh? Wow.
Yeah, it was just the people actually still remember that because I was buying. Habib bought me. He was buying me a gift for my anniversary, and the people we were talking to, they're Bosnian, but they were saying, yeah, it was so bad, like what, 30, 40, almost 30 years ago or so, and how many people they have lost and everything. They have museums out there for that. So that was really interesting. So Bosnia was very interesting city because it was so mixed.
Yeah. Where have you felt the most peace that you've been to so far in these places?
I would say I think the most time that I enjoyed was Dubrovnik, which is a city in Croatia, but it's by the Adriatic Sea.
So and you felt very peaceful there.
Very peaceful because the ocean was right in front of you. You have a beautiful resort we were at, but there was just a beautiful beach in front of you, and it was just so calm and so clean. Oh my God, beautiful water, great air, wind, and it was just beautiful seeing as well because you could see the houses built on mountains, and you just and of course, so the way it was, there's a mountain, there's the ocean in the middle, and then you're on the other side. You know what I'm saying? Wow. So it's the whole view. It's gorgeous. Definitely send. I'll share pictures later. But
your pictures are cool. Yeah, the peace that you felt inside of yourself. How would you describe it in words if you could?
So describe what I'm feeling because I'm still on my trip. I haven't we're not finished yet. We have another day at Venice. This is my second time in Venice. The first time we came in Venice was about 5 years ago, probably, but we did not have a good time. We didn't have actually any time spending on the island of Venice. The reason is the group that we came with, they were just so in a hurry to move on, so we just spent like an hour here and just took pictures and left.
Oh wow!
So we didn't do nightlife or any life. So this group that I joined, I think this group is like we're on our own for like next 2 days. So today we got here around probably 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. We rested for an hour or two. We took a shower and then we went out. It was just a beautiful out night at Venice. Of course, a lot of shopping, a lot of food. People are out there, so we just had a nice time. And then tomorrow we have a tour guide, and then after that we have a whole afternoon and the evening just going around. and everything you need to do here is in boat because there's nothing that can come cars here. So it's expensive though, obviously because of that reason. I think they were telling us 750 per ride or something, euro, 750 euro.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do
So
you like
interesting.
most about Venice?
I'm gonna be very honest. I think is the old like history because the buildings
Mhm.
are so old. I don't know, maybe 400-500 year old, and
Oh,
it's
older
very
than that. Yeah.
like
Much
run down.
older.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like run down. You know what I'm saying? Like run down, but they made it pretty run down.
Yeah.
They're like fading away, but you could see the colorful and
It's the
try to keep
sinking
it.
city. Yeah. Do you feel that? The sinking
Yeah,
city? Do you see
definitely. I
that?
think I was telling Habib, I think I would say about 300, probably even 200 years, probably is gonna drown. You know.
Mhm.
So yeah, because the water level is really high, you could see it. You know.
Wow.
So yeah, and the restaurants and the nightlife is just a lot of tourists, a lot of tourists. I mean, from different part of the world. You know, you've seen Bengalis, and then you've seen the Chinese, and you've seen the Indians, and then you've seen the Japanese. You just it's all around. So Venice is full of. Oh, some of them actually work here as well, and some are tourists
Wow.
as well.
That's
You
cool. Have
know,
you found any masjids in Venice?
we
I think
haven't
there's
looked.
like one. Yeah.
I haven't looked. We haven't looked yet since we just got here. So
You
definitely
know,
want
that
to look
would
in.
be cool. Halal food in Venice. It's
Oh yeah, yeah. We just had some
such an
halal food
enclave
today,
of a
but
place.
there's a lot of halal restaurant on Venice.
Wow.
Um, but the only issue is that we did try this halal restaurant. I'm so sorry, the food just was not that great because we know what
It happens.
kabali flour is supposed to taste like. We're like, this is not kabli flour.
Wow.
And the other food, which I mean, it's just so we finally decided just being stupid that we just trying to try something new. But we definitely going to try pizza and pasta tomorrow. That's what Italy is famous for. So tomorrow lunch is pasta and pizza for us.
Okay, that's cool.
Oh, before I forget, Bosnian food was so amazing. They have this kebab and they look
Yeah.
like a cigar, this little cigar, but they taste so good. I think
Wow.
I'm not a big kebab person, but those kebabs are just, oh, you have to try them. So if you're ever there, they look like little cigars,
Uh-huh.
and that was the best. I think that was the best kebabs I've had, honestly. Just had
Wow.
this taste, yeah. Habib thought it was hot dogs. I'm like, nope, they're not hot dogs, they're kebabs. And I think they're made of veal. Oh, is it called veal? The cow child of
I actually
baby
don't
cow.
know.
I think it's veal. Anyway, it's really good. It's really good. You should definitely try.
Wow. That's so
Mhm.
interesting. Yeah, Bosnian food, it sounds appetizing. So that's
Yeah,
really cool.
we had a great time. I mean, we tried Bosnian specialty, Croatian specialty. Slovenia, they're just too much sausages, so we didn't, of course, try any of those, obviously. Um, and of course, now we're in Venice tomorrow. I think we're going to try pasta and pizza. That's the plan so far.
Nice,
So,
nice.
oh, and I think, oh yeah, in Croatia, because we were by the Adriatic Sea, so there's a lot of fishes. So I actually got to eat trout twice at a
Oh
restaurant, which
wow.
was trout. I mean, a real trout. When I say it's, it wasn't like, uh, sitting there for years or something. I mean, they actually have lakes here. They really actually have a lot of fish, a lot of Mediterranean food, meaning seafood here, fresh
Mm.
seafood. And I mistakenly, I think, ate an octopus because I didn't know it was an octopus. So the restaurant we went to in Croatia, so they asked, well, they have seafood salad and they have, uh, of course, seafood. And so because of the halal reason, I said, I'll take the seafood. So they bring the salad and they had a little octopus, meaning they cut the in small sizes. So I didn't even know that I was eating octopus. So I'm like, oh, this is such a great fish, right? With this, here I'm sitting there, and then there's another man in this group says, oh, octopus is usually very chewy, but this octopus is really soft. And I looked at his plate. I'm like, wait, I have the same thing. I looked really close. I'm like, oh, shit, I've ate octopus, but honestly, it was not chewy. It was more soft. So that was interesting. So I ended up eating octopus, not knowing
Wow.
it was octopus.
That
And then
is very interesting.
my next dish came back. My main dish came in. It was like, I think it was I don't know which type of. It wasn't trout. It was another fish. But then they have calamari and they have little small baby octopus fried up.
Mhm.
Of course, I don't eat those. I was like, okay, yeah. But yeah, ate the fish. So
That's
a great
cool.
experience. Yeah.
Do you have
Uh,
any closing thoughts? Anything you wanted to say but you felt like you didn't get a chance to, or something on your mind that you wanted to express?
hmm. I think everyone should definitely visit Eastern Europe at least once. I know we always end up going to Western Europe, France, and England, and all this part of the West. But if you go to Eastern Europe, I think the people are more friendly or more humble, or I don't know. It's just very mixed, I guess, because we have seen so many background. I mean, we just met a girl who's from Kosovo, but she married an Italian, and then there's Albanian. It's just such a mixture that you see, and I think it's very interesting history. And I think everyone should definitely. Oh, and European fashion are amazing. Eastern Europe, believe me. So yeah, did few shopping.
I believe it. Yeah, that's
Definitely,
cool.
definitely.
Before you leave, is it possible if we could get a glimpse of Venice?
Venice. Oh, it's dark right now. It's almost midnight, so you can't see anything because right in front of me. Okay, so in the Venice, the hotels are very small.
Hmm.
So right next to me, I could just see the roof of the other or whoever. I don't know if it's a house or something, but there's a roof
Yeah.
there. So you won't be able
Okay.
to see anything right now. If it was daytime, I definitely would have showed you around, and it's very beautiful. But I could always send you some pictures.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, no worries. Yeah. Well, thanks so much, Rupipo, for being my second international guest, joining in from Venice, Italy. It was very cool to have you.
Thank you. All right, inshallah, see you soon.
All
Take
right, you
care.
take care, and you guys stay safe and enjoy the rest of your trip.
Thank you. Allah Hafiz. Allah Hafiz.
Office.